Encore Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And able to get this out to the 25. Right to the air is Burrow. Being chased out left. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now it's Burrow. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. Yards the pickup, first down. The Bengals hit 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown to the 43, second down. You talk about this Washington defense. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow will throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. This is Brown going up the middle. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. This defense for the Commanders is much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of the game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as he'll get it down inside the 25.
On 1, ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Here's Burrow. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
Now it's Burrow. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. A pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced on the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. They'll run with their jack-of-all-trades. It's Deebo Samuel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. To throw is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
In motion right, Deebo. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. You talk about this Bengals defense. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A gain of 14, first down Commanders. 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Bengals 3, Commanders nothing.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. So from the 17.
First down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. To the air goes Daniels. And it's caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington has taken the lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Right back to Brown. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
3rd and 2.
Here we go.
Burrow on play action. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
Ridiculous. Take him out.
Does this have to happen?
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Daniels looking to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Well, they go play action. Daniels forced out to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Throwing now is Daniels. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down.
Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. Big yardage that time for Washington. 69 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Yeah, he's got it. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Bengals drive about to get going. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a short one to Gesicki, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there to see if they can build on that stop. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. This complete to Lockett. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Returning right back to Lockett. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Now Burrow. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. McPherson's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On 1st and 10, it's Samuel. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 6. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Open man is Yoshibas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now a give, left side, Brown with it. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Burrow looking to pass. Escaping the pressure right. He opted to go with the scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Burrow going for it on 4th. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, the defense obviously could not have drawn up a better start to the second half. They're holding on to that slim lead, just looking for a stop. Not only do they get the stop, Charles, they get the pick six.
Another example that life comes at you fast, doesn't it? One play ago, they're defending a slim lead coming out of the break. Now they're one more stop away from thinking about a possible put-away drive.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
He's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Open man, that's Gesicki down the field. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And this is caught at the 8. And the Bengals are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Lockett from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And he'll get in as they're back within a score now. The lead's down to 7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third. Back to throw now on first down. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Off the play fake, Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 36. Eckler now between the tackles. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
To throw is Daniels. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grip. A dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What a sequence there defensively. You get the sack to move him to third and long. Then here, just nothing available. And he's got to throw it away.
The offense on third down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Dancing to his left. Looking deep here for Chase. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Quan Martin to the 20. They had him back deep, got the interception.